In this video, we're going to be talking about the concept of income elasticity of demand. Now, I would highly recommend watching the two previous videos entitled Price Elasticity of Demand and Supply Part 1 and Part 2, because in this video, I'm not going to be rehashing the actual definition of elasticity. I'm just going to be talking about how it applies to income. Okay, so if you don't have a good handle on what elasticity is, I highly recommend watching those earlier videos first. Okay, so let's just jump right in. So the income elasticity of demand is, I don't know how your textbook will or professor will necessarily be denoting this, but I'll be using this notation here. So eta y, right, is nothing but the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in capital Y, which in this case is income, okay? So this measures the sensitivity of quantity demanded to a change in income. So you'll notice that this is the exact same formula as we had for the price elasticity of demand, except we're using income instead. So in the previous, in those videos, if you go back and watch them, what we said is that the price elasticity of demand was the answer to the question, when price increases by 1%, by how much in percentage terms does quantity demand decrease by, right? Or you could replace increase and decrease there by change, just more generally. But in this case, you have something very similar. So the question is, when income changes by 1%, by how much in percentage does quantity demanded change by? Right? And now you might expect, of course, that when income goes up, quantity demanded will also go up, right? As the person gets richer, they want to buy more things. And that will in general be true, okay? But, and this is super important, when you're calculating income elasticity of demand, you are not to use absolute values, okay? Now, why is that? No absolute values. Why is that? Well, because there are some goods for which if income increases, then consumption of that good will actually decrease. And these are actually called inferior goods, okay? I'm going to be uploading another video later on going into more detail about this. But the point is that we're actually interested in this case in the direction of the change. So, for example, okay, let's say that, let's just write down the formula here. Let's say that when income went up, quantity demanded went up, right? Then your elasticity would be positive. It would be greater than 0, okay? Because if both of them go up, then your change in quantity is going to be positive. And of course, your change in income, because it's gone up, is also positive. So a positive number over a positive number equals another positive number. So you're going to have a positive elasticity, okay? But of course, if you have the opposite situation, right? Like let's say, do this in a different color. Let's say when your income goes up, quantity demanded actually goes down, right? So in this case, you would have a positive quantity in your denominator, and you would have a negative quantity, right? A change downwards is a negative change, and this would result in a negative number, right? So this would result in your elasticity being negative. Now, these are actually important differences, right? Because in this case, you'd be dealing with a normal good, and in this case, you'd be dealing with an inferior good. Now, like I said, we're going to go into more details about these two things later on, but right now, suffice it to say that no absolute values here is an important rule because you actually care about the sign, okay? And the last thing I'll talk about is, of course, how to actually calculate this percentage change, and it's going to look exactly the same as it did for price elasticity. So this is going to be quantity demanded 2 minus quantity demanded 1 divided by the average, right? Because we want elasticity to be the same going in either direction. If that doesn't make sense to you, please watch the previous video, right? So you take the average of the two and you divide it by change in income. So income 1 minus income 2 divided by the average. Okay, so that's how you calculate income elasticity of demand. All right, so as usual, if you found this video useful, please like it, subscribe to the channel, share the video with friends, and of course, leave a comment down below if you have suggestions for further videos. I will see you in next video.